Is this the worst Fortnite update ever? While scrolling through Twitter, I saw this tweet from 2019, and it's an interesting one. And I've talked about this subject a lot on the channel, and it is indeed bots. This was the original tweet back in the day, I suppose. Hypex, Fortnite is adding bots. 23rd of September 2019. In the next season, we are adding bots to Fortnite. They will behave similarly to normal players and will help provide a better path for players to grow in skill. Bots will work in conjunction with a new matchmaking system, and as your skill improves, you face fewer bots. Bots will not be present in competitive playlists. This is another system that will continue to update and illiterates. Okay, well, there's a lot to unpack there, guys. Interesting tweet to come across, because where we are now in terms of Fortnite, in terms of what people talk about, especially in terms of Fortnite being a quite heavy bot-ridden game, even though it's a PvP game, a player versus player game, and for the most part, to be fair, it has improved. OG has definitely improved over the last few weeks. It does feel like there's a lot more real players. I feel like everyone about ran into that game was a real player, the last game we played. There is issues with the game being quite bot heavy. Where we are now, it's just funny to look at stuff like this. They will behave similarly to normal players and will help provide a better path for players to grow in skill. I would say the complete opposite. I will always argue the complete opposite from that narrative. Now, you get too comfortable with bots. It's fine if the system is like, okay, you're a new player. Here's a bot. Here's 90% bots in your game. Oh, you're getting slightly better. Okay, you got a few wins. Here's 80 and 70, and it continues to drop down. But that never seems to be the case. I've been playing this game 7 years. Consistently since Chapter 1, Season 6. I've played almost every season. I have actually played every season. I feel like a player of my standards should not be coming against bots. I would, in my opinion, I think there should be no skill-based matchmaking, and you should face whoever you come across. I believe that is a true beauty of a PvE battle royale. I know some people will be against, definitely no skill-based matchmaking. I think it's somewhat beautiful. You can come across a player who's terrible, don't know what they're doing, looking up, looking down. We've all been there. We've all had to, definitely in terms of a Chapter 1 new player, you've had to play against real players. People that will completely crank on you, people that will utterly destroy you within seconds, and you'd be like, oh damn, I better play another game. And then we got better, we improved. Obviously some people will put that down to the implementation of Fortnite Creative. Fortnite Creative was a big addition to Fortnite that probably enlarged the skill gap, rightly or wrongly. But still to this day, I think new players should be put in a bot lobby, yes, and then grow out of it. Let's not make bots a pacifier and, you know, get too reliant on bots. Like, if you've been playing the game for a year and you're a new player and you're still getting bots, just like, I've had people comment on my channel as well when I talk about bots and say, oh yeah, I've been playing this game for quite a while now. It's almost like 6 months to a year and I'm still getting bots and I want to improve. I don't want these bots anymore. And that's probably not their skill-based matchmaking. That's just a game in general, because even as a player who's been playing 7 years, I still get bots. Sorry about interrupting past Jay, but if you want to support me even more, consider using creator code MRJOY, Mr. Joy in the Fortnite item shop. Hashtag ad, hashtag Epic Partner. Thank you to everyone using my code in the item shop. Like this guy. It's just funny when you see tweets like this. Fortnite is adding bots, and where we are now with the game. As I said, I think OG has improved for me. There doesn't seem to be a lot more bots. There doesn't seem to be as many bots, and there seem to be every player I seem to be running into seems to be a real player, unless I'm just happen to be running into those real players. I feel like it's a good argument for when OG has real players. This is a good argument that maybe more limited mobility in the main BR is helpful. That's what I was saying in my other video about mobility. I feel like cars and superhero mythics and all sorts, they're good and they're fun to have mobility, but I feel like you could almost, instead of wanting to go and find players and be aggressive, you could actually naturally sort of miss players in this. You know, if everyone's walking and sprint running and the drop is equal amongst the map, I feel like you should naturally run into players, and I feel like that's when Fortnite plays the best. Definitely, I'm enjoying OG more now because I seem to be running into real players, and there's very limited mobility. You've got the shockwaves, or the other thing. Well, I can't remember the name for the other thing. Impulse grenades, which you can still use in movement if you're very careful and don't eliminate yourself. Obviously, the addition to the zip lines is kind of all right, even for builds. Just standard rifts we have in game, like that's the right amount of mobility to move around the map. So I think there's still a topic of conversation to have about mobility being a little too heavy in the main BR. And maybe for upcoming seasons, of course, maybe not next season because it's the bug theme season and bugs fly and they jump and they hop and they skip. So I think movement's going to be kind of crazy next season. So that's fine. But definitely for later seasons, we should probably think about a little less mobility is probably better. Less is more. At least for a season. Let's try it out. It's kind of cool looking back at the tweets that people were saying in 2019. I'm a fan. I'm pretty good at the game, but I like it because it really helps people who be trying to get better. Newer players wouldn't be running to sweat and build gods. And as I've already said in the video, that's pretty cool for Fortnite to have bots, to have a door for new players who don't have this crazy ability yet and to grow into that player. And that's probably what it should be used for, but unfortunately that's just not what's happening or whatever has happened. A new player comes in, they get bots. A player who's been playing 6 months get crazy amount of bots. A player who's been playing 7 years get a crazy amount of bots. That just isn't happened. The intent, if that was the intention, which if you read the tweet, I think that is the intention. Yeah, as your skill improves, you face fewer bots. To point out as a crazy thing, as where Fortnite has been for the last few years. As your skill improves, you face fewer bots. That's crazy, man. Crazy. I mean, someone actually said, imagine dying to an actual bot. We've all done that. We've all done that, unfortunately. And again, and there's another player literally reaffirming that. It's really hard being a new player in Fortnite these days, as hopefully this will help close the skill gap. And for that, it's right. I'm not saying they shouldn't not completely be bots in the game, but if you have been playing this game for a number of years at least, I feel like you should be playing what is intended as a PvP game. But that might just be me, guys. Yeah, that seems to be what everyone's talking about here. Everyone back in 2019 was very optimistic. For new players with 0 wins mixed with real players, it seems like a great addition. Skill gap is way too big for newer players, and this can help get them better at a game. God, what the intention for bots or what even the community saw bots as is really crazy to how we have been absolutely pounded with this thought process of bots is needed in the game to be able to get wins, because otherwise you wouldn't. Even in this game, even if you're against a better player than you, there's still ways to win. Oh, 2019, a different time. It's only for really low matchmaking. Don't know why everyone's freaking out. Most games probably won't have them. Fast forward 6 years, every single... I mean, as I say, OG has improved with bots. I feel like I'm running into more real players as a game we just played. But it's just funny. It's just so funny to see the thought process of what people were saying. So mostly from what we've seen, that most people were very positive about the outlook of bots being for new players and being essential for new players to learn. And then, as Fortnite said in the original thing as well, as your skill improves, you'll face fewer bots. It's just cool looking. It's like a time capsule, this is. It's like looking at the community being happy about bots. I mean, people are still happy about bots, but I feel like they're very much now using it as a pacifier. Like, oh my god, if I don't have bots, I'm not going to be able to get my wins. I'm not going to be able to feed my crown wins. Even this tweet's kind of mad. This one here, I feel like he's meant to say, wait, into an actual match? Bots? That's crazy, man. I don't really mind about bots. I understand. I don't mind bots if they're used correctly. I feel like it did get to a point in some modes where I feel like it was pretty much ruining the game. It's funny to look back at these tweets because at the time the speculation was that bots were already being implemented in the mode and Epic was being very secretive about it. So it's funny to look at some of the tinfoil hat theories now going on in his tweets. Although there's a lot of people speculating here. Tinfoil hat moment saying, no, there's bots already in the game. There's been bots in games for years. What do you mean? Laughing my ass off. See, we knew they had bots in the game because there was obviously a large conspiracy at the time that bots were already in the game. This is just confirming that skill-based matchmaking and bots will 100% be a thing. I would still say I think Fortnite plays its best with no skill-based matchmaking and limiting bots in the game. Maybe even no bots, I would say. I feel like it plays better. Think of, because what happened when bots came in the game, literally a whole genre on YouTube died. It would be like streamer playing with viewer. Like, you don't see them a lot anymore because, okay, there's two reasons for that. There's a few reasons for that. One would be they're just idiots and they swear and it's rude, obnoxious, and it isn't content. But obviously, skill-based matchmaking plus bots, you don't really get people with mics and stuff like that. But that might just be the type of gaming we're in at the moment. People just don't have mics. People don't want to talk to people they don't really know, which is obviously fair enough. That's completely fair. But yeah, there's not this doesn't really drive that way anymore. But I miss them sort of video, man. I don't feel like anyone does them videos anymore. You know, that used to, damn, you know, coming across a kid who just randomly plays a guitar, and that was like PKs, and that's one of his most performing videos. I mean, the amount of bots you have in game now, and it's kind of ruined that sort of genre, content making, content creation, I suppose. Basically, a authentic experience in gaming. Obviously, skill-based matchmaking, you will only be matched with players of a similar caliber, so you won't see the noob come in. I remember seeing one video where a father was playing Fortnite. He was like in his 50s and he was trying to play a game. He was trying to learn it, and someone came across like a content creator, and I thought, oh, this is so cool. Bots and skill-based matchmaking kind of killed it. Guys, yes, Fortnite is adding bots. A post from 2019, and it's been a cool look into a different time in Fortnite where, for the majority of the posts, for the majority of the replies to this tweet, most people were looking very forward for the addition of bots to help new players learn the game. And as it says here, and as your skill improves, you face fewer bots. Obviously, as we know, where we are now, with hindsight, that probably wasn't the case. And it even says competitive playlist as well. And we know there's bots occasionally in competitive playlists. Hopefully, bots can go back to helping new players grow at the game, and maybe for players who are coming back to the game and their account can show up, oh, and I haven't played the game in 6 months. Let's ease them back into Fortnite. Give them bots. That's fine. That's the way they should be used. I close my case. I rest my case. Comment down below what you think of this. And like the video, subscribe if you did enjoy it. And until next time, it's been your boy, Mr. JLY. It's next time. Bye-bye.